Right, the EFL have just launched their very own fantasy game. And in this video, I'm going to go through the rules and make my first draft. All right, so the first thing I think we need to do is just check over the rules, just make sure we actually know how to play the game before getting into things. So, basics then, you can compete by creating your own team of 7 players using 2 clubs, obviously across all 3, who will score points based on their actual performances in the EFL game. Basic fantasy football, right? Okay, registration, that's pretty self-explanatory. You can have 1 goalkeeper, 2 to 3 defenders, 2 to 3 midfielders, 1 to 2 forwards. You can build your team in 3 formations, 1-2-2, 1-2-3-1, 1-3-2-1. Change your formation by removing players, chopping and changing your team, and that will automatically change the formation. No restrictions to how many times you can select an individual player over the course of the season, but only 2 players from any club. So I think it's a weekly fantasy football game, but then by the looks of it, you can only select an individual club a maximum of 5 times. So if you just quickly go to the squad screen, I've noticed that you can pick a fantasy team of actual players and then a couple of clubs as well. And obviously bearing in mind the fixtures as well. So you can only pick a club 5 times across the season by the looks of it. Captain, they'll score double points. You can change the captain at any time before the deadline. Vice captain as well if your captain doesn't play. Yeah, makes sense. Team rollover. Team will roll over next week automatically. Okay, yeah, they'll automatically replace the club if you've selected them 5 times already. Chips, maximum captain chip. Highest scoring player in your team will automatically be made your captain. That's quite an interesting chip, that. You can only apply your max captain, obviously before the first game starts. You can use it between, so that's the start of the EFL to the 31st of January, and then you get 2 of them. Interesting. You don't have it twice, you've got to use it before then. Updating your team, many changes to your team as you like each game week, but only involving players who are yet to play. That's quite interesting. So you can remove a player from your club and add one in as long as they are yet to play. Interesting. So I guess it means you can't then sell a player who has already played as well. You can only make transfers using players that haven't played. Rolling lockout mentality, where players in clubs will become locked out as soon as that club's player. Okay, yeah, makes sense. You're no longer be able to add and remove them. Okay, scoring system. Appearance up to 59 minutes played, 1 point. 60 plus 2 points. 3 points for an assist. 5 points for a hat trick. Missed penalty -3. Yellow card -1. Red card -3. A goalkeeper gets 2 for every 3 saves. +3 for a penalty save. 5 points for a clean sheet. 7 points for a defender goalkeeper goal. -1 for every 2 conceded. Kind of recognise those figures. Bonus points for clearances, blocks, and successful tackles. Midfielders, every interception you get 2. Goal scored, you get 6. Every interception is worth 2 points. Wow. Like if you've got a centre defensive midfielder that makes, 7 or 8 interceptions a game, good grief, that's a lot of points. Key passes, points. 2 shots on targets, points. So it's really interesting, that. Goal scored, you get +5. Clubs will score points based on the following metrics. So you get 5 points for a win, 3 points for a draw, +2 for an away win, 2 for a clean sheet, and 2 for goals scored. 2 goals scored. There's mini leagues. I'll create a golden goal mini league. I won't do it on the video, but I'll share it in the chat after this. So that's pretty interesting. I really like this bonus point system. We'll just go through it again. So 3 saves, 2 points, and that's unlimited. So if you make 6 saves, that's 4 points. 3 clearances, 2 blocks. I'm getting really excited. 2 successful tackles for a defender is worth +1. So these bonus points for midfielders and defenders are really going to add up. That's quite exciting. I tell you what, I'm going to turn this from that's not necessarily how to play in team selection. I'll create a basic team selection, but I think ultimately I'm going to need to do a bit more research into tackle numbers, interception numbers, etc. And I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of those stats actually available at the moment. So what I'll do is I'll put together a rough first draft, and then I'll come back with a bit more stats and data for my next video and then come up with an updated one. But we'll just do an example to start with. But this bonus point system is really good. Like 2 points for every interception. That is going to be, I think that's going to be a bit of a cheat code. And what it means is that like defenders and defensive midfielders are going to be value in this game. Like there's no reason not to pick them. And there's no prices, right? Okay, I think that sort of summarizes the rules. So I will hop over to the team selection screen now. All right, then we're going to kick off with a really basic team selection. And straight away, I think with his ownership being 59%, I'm going to go for Sammy Smodics. I think it makes sense to pick him, you know, top scorer in the championship last season. Got Derby at home, promoted team in the championship. I think that's a decent thing, decent player in etc. to kick off with. I do think the Birmingham defence against Reading are going to have a good time of it. So I'm going to pick Allsop, the Birmingham keeper. And then I will probably also go for a defender as well, if I can get a defender. And let's just select League One. Oh, got a ticket. I get a bit confused with the ticking. There we go. Yeah, I'll pick Ethan Laird as well of Birmingham. We'll add him in. So, have I got on this? I might have gotten this wrong. So, are we picking a player for 3 teams? One player to be your captain. Yeah, we get that. Oh, brand new team each week. So, yeah, it's just showing me the 3 fixtures. So, I'm going to go for a double Birmingham defence against Reading. So, that's hoping that Laird gets some tackles and attacking returns, etc. as well. And Allsop's there. Hopefully gets a clean sheet. Oh, actually, I might want to pick them as a club. We'll carry on with that so far. I think what's kind of obvious to me is that picking relegated teams might be a good way to go. So let's look at League Two a second. Who have we got here that we could go for? Don't really know enough about League Two, to be honest. Let's have a look at League One a sec, because we could go for another relegated team. Although Rotherham, I don't think are necessarily worth going for. Tell you who would be good as well. Bit of Preston. I think. Midfielder from Preston, Ledson. Can I search for Ledson? I think Ledson's going to be good for. Ledson for Preston is going to be good for Sheffield United. That could be good for interceptions. How many are we up to? 1, 2, 3. And I need to pick. Let's just remind myself of the formation I need to pick. So I can do a 1, 2. So I have to pick. Yeah, I have to pick at least 2 defenders. So we'll go for 1 more defender. I'll tell you what, I'm fancy a Blackburn defender, given that they're playing newly promoted Derby. I will go for a Blackburn defender. Defenders, Championship, Blackburn. We'll go for Britain. We'll go for him. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 players left. I need a striker, don't I? Let's see what we got in terms of the forwards. I'll go. Who have Luton got in first out? Because I do like Carlton Morris and Adebayo. They got Burnley. Oh, that's tough, isn't it? Don't think I can pick them against Burnley. Who else we got? Sheffield United. Who have they got first up? Kiefer Moore. Preston North End. Preston North End away is a horrible fixture. So I'm not gonna do that. Who else have we got? We'll have to go down to League One, you know. Leeds. We go Leeds. Who have Leeds got? So Rencio Somerville's got Portsmouth. Yeah, we'll go for him. And then 1 more player. Might pick a midfielder, you know. I do like Leeds. as a team to. They've got talent, haven't they? Who can I get there? Jack Harrison, he's not necessarily going to play. Who else we got? Virginia Ruta, Willie Nonto. I like Somerville. I'm going to pick from, might pick from mine, no, because not too sure who's going to start from Bristol City right now. Let's see if we can get a League One team that have just been relegated. Let's go for a Birmingham midfielder. Oh no, we've already got Birmingham, haven't we? God, it's tough picking this final player, isn't it? You know what? I know it's very very stereotypical, but I think I'm going to go for Mullin of Wrexham. Yeah, he's already popular. Couple of teams then. I know it's early doors, but I think Birmingham. And then I'm going to go Leeds as well, because I backed Leeds to beat Portsmouth. I'm not looking at League One for Leeds. Okay, so there's my team complete. I'll go back because I haven't created an account yet. So we've got Allsop in goal and Laird in defence against Reading, Britton against Derby, Smodics against Derby, Ledson against Sheffield United. I quite like his chances of getting quite a few interceptions in that game. Sorrentino in Somerville and Paul Mullin up front. Then I've gone for Birmingham City and Leeds United, both playing, Birmingham obviously being relegated into League One, so then playing a team, well, last season were the division below, and then Leeds playing the promoted team in Portsmouth. So yeah, I think that's a decent first up team selection. Nothing crazy, you know, I'm not going to say I'm an expert yet on all the EFL leagues. So what I'll do, like I said, is I'll come back doing a bit of research into all the appropriate stats for, you know, the point scorer metrics in this game. And then I'll have a better thought out team. But just as an example to get things kicked off, giving a, you know, a view of how to play the game, etc., and a kind of team to pick. Hopefully this will get you going. All right, that's the end of the video. Just wanted to get one quickly out about this EFL Fantasy game. If you didn't know already, I've got a season ticket at Bristol City, so I have a little bit, I guess, of followed of the EFL being one league, but I'm not an expert yet on League One and League Two, but I still thought there'd be value in getting a video out, you know, explaining the rules of the game and picking a team initially. So if there's anything you want to suggest that I do with my team in the comments, you know, I'd be happy to hear it and take your guys' advice. I'm going to go away, do a bit of research into the EFL players' stats, and yeah, really think about who I'm going to pick in this team for game week 1. But to be honest, like, I think the players I've got there are pretty good. So yeah, we'll see how we get on. If you enjoyed the video and want to see more EFL fantasy content from me, please leave a like, rating, and subscribe to the Golden Goal channel, which should be just there on your screen. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in my next video.